Hey everyone, and welcome to another episode of Conventional Wisdom. This time covering Nyancon 2018, the one-day convention up at Lakeland Community College that I've been a volunteer and staffer for the last, I believe it's 4 years. I may be incorrect, but regardless, I wanted to share my experience this year with you because, I had fun doing the convention. It was a bit hectic, it's a bit crazy, as always. And I'm hoping that some of the things that I saw, that I liked, that, I had critiques for, maybe other people can learn from, and hopefully if they plan on working with another convention or potentially coming to Nyancon, may look at and go, wow, that's cool, or that's interesting. So, without further ado, because I've got a lot to talk about, let's get to it. So, first off, one of the big things I've gotten from working with Nyancon is a great appreciation for helping to run a convention. I'm one of the, I'd say, lower level staffers in that, I'm very dedicated to the job, but most of my work is on the day of stuff. Helping with vendor load-in, helping with setup, cleanup, etc. As well as working the weapons check at the con-ops area, helping out with the raffles, and basically just being a general information person for like, oh hey, here's where this classroom is, here's where that classroom is, for panels and such. But, I'm friends with some of the higher-ups of the convention, the con chair, and some of the other major players, and it is a lot. It is a very big to-do to get a convention off the ground. Because, you have to find a venue, you have to speak with the heads of the venue area and be like, hey, we would like to hold our convention here, convince them that it's a worthwhile effort and that you will make sure that everything goes well and smoothly, and it's just a lot just to get to have a convention anywhere. And then running the convention the day of, oh my gosh. You try handling, I forget how many people it was exactly, but like 2,000 or so people coming into one area that's a bit spread out, admittedly, but we can't do much about that. As well as crazy weather, like rain. Whew. But I want to take a moment here, and give shout-outs to, the con chair, the con heads, etc., because you guys did a wonderful job. We made everything work out quite well, and it's definitely one of the reasons I'm glad to be a part of this operation, because you guys have your heads on straight, you guys have the experience and have figured out how to make things good and actually improve things over the years. So, kudos to you. So, quick round of applause for you guys. Cool? Okay. So, with that out of the way, let's move on to my experience at the convention. Well, first off, my day started out with vendor load-in. Basically, if you have a vendor's hall at a convention, you're having a lot of different people come in to sell their wares. Comic shops, figures, just a bunch of people who have a lot of cool stuff to sell. Anime, manga, plushes, jewelry, artists, just so many different people. And this may come as a surprise to you, but they don't magically take their store and put it like into a little gymnasium or into like a big ballroom area. People have to move that stuff from A to B. Getting it in their cars and stuff is obviously going to be on the vendors, but then ideally when you get to the convention, there are going to be con staff to help you unload. Currently, and this is not official in any way, shape, or form, but I would look at myself as the head unloader guy, in that I worked the unloading area, the most on that Saturday, and I had to just check in with the vendor location person, depending on who it was at the time. To find out, like, okay, Anime America's over here, and this artist is over there, and this one's over here. Like, we had a lot of tables. So basically, I was muscle, and I knew who to talk to. Which are important things, actually, so just saying. But, yeah. But one of the things that I picked up from this was with the load-in area, we had issues with keeping the door open because they didn't self-prop because the doors were just like that for whatever reason, which is frustrating. And then trying to find proper chairs to prop the door open, that was a challenge. So, if you work vendor load-in and you know that your door does not prop very well, my suggestion to you is go to Dollar Tree and get some door stops. Or, you know, something of that nature. It will help you so much. Trust me. What we ended up using was a folding chair for the one door, whenever we could make it work. And then the other door, I actually used my box cutter from work. Which I did eventually get back, so hey, it all worked out in the end. But not everybody's going to have those things, or the steel chair is going to be a bit technical to work out because it took me forever to figure it out. And then the chair came loose at one point, and I couldn't get it back in, and it was really frustrating, but we got past that, and it's okay, and it's fine. But just saying, be prepared for getting through doorways. And secondly, at that same door, there was a major lip that was kind of a hassle for our carts and other carts to get through. Like, it was really rough. So my planned fixes for next year, I'm probably going to put that in text and everything too. Number 1, have door stops on hand just in case I need to prop doors open. And number 2, figure out what to do about that lip. Currently, I have absolutely nothing. So if you guys have thoughts, opinions, suggestions, you know, from professional movers, let me know, please. That would help me out so much. Let's see. Lip threshold. Alright, after that, basically my main job was working at ConOps. Like I've already established, I do weapons check. Basically, we have to follow the rules of the school because the school has some campus police officers, and basically they have set rules that we have to abide by, as well as my big 3 rules for, you know, that I've just picked up from weapons check. Basically, if an item shoots, stabs, or is made of heavy metal, we have to ask the convention attendee to please put that item in their vehicle. You know, because we don't want somebody walking around with, you know, like an airsoft gun that actually does fire, because what if they accidentally fire and hit somebody in the eye or something like that? That could be a real issue. We don't want something that stabs because, well, getting stabbed hurts. Don't ask me. I know. And, you know, heavy metal, well, if, you know, somebody has a cool, you know, mallet or bat or whatever that's metal, and they're not, they're not careful, you know, in making a cool pose, they may actually bonk someone, and that could be very painful. You know, and also, of course, one of the other big things, if, you know, the weapon passes the check, you know, I just tell the people, hey, you know, be safe. If you're going to make cool poses and stuff like that, just watch who is around you, what's going on, etc. Because, you know, you don't want to actually whack somebody because, like, oh, hey, like, I'm going to hold my sword like this or like that. Just moving it suddenly. Just keep that in mind if you have cool props. Or if you have a shark guitar and you want to use that. I have a shark guitar. I have to remake it. Let's see. Oh yeah, also at ConOps, we had a cool raffle going on. Basically, we had 6 different baskets that were themed: Cartoon Network, Black Butler, Shonen Jump, etc. for the raffles. So basically, you buy a ticket, or you got one at, you buy the tickets at registration area. You come over to the ConOps area, and, you know, you place part of your ticket in one of the buckets. And then eventually we did the drawing at 6:30. The cool thing that I really liked about this was the fact that the proceeds from the proceeds, you know, for each basket would go to a certain charity. And we had this explained on a piece of paper that was with each basket. So we had I think Girls Who Code, Children's Miracle Network, Extra Life, just a few other things, and honestly, that was very cool. It's a cool thing to see, you know, to have a raffle, and then to see that the raffle is also for a charitable cause. It's really a double win. Like, oh hey, you spent $5 on tickets, and yeah, you didn't win the Black Butler bag, but that's at least another couple of bucks that's going towards a charitable cause. It's really good. I did not know about this. Like I said, I'm low-level staff, and I thought that was awesome, and I love you guys for doing that, and please do more stuff like that in the future. That's awesome. And if other conventions see this and hear this idea and want to run with it, hey, like, feel free. That is cool. I love it. I think it's cool. Also, I'm just going to assume, hey, you know, doing charitable stuff and having a cool raffle isn't just a copyrighted idea by our convention. And if it is, do it anyway. I'll take the heat on this one. Oh, God. And also, speaking of cool charitable events, another big thing we had going on was the quest for the 7 Dragon Balls. That's what I'm going to call it. Basically, this was about the 7 Dragon Balls from Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball Super, and if you're a fan, Dragon Ball GT. But anyway, across the convention center, we had scattered the 7 Dragon Balls. Because basically in the show, if you gather up the 7 Dragon Balls, you can make a wish. And the idea behind this was that if we collected all 7 Dragon Balls, we would donate a certain percentage of the badge sales to the Children's Make-A-Wish Foundation, if I recall right. But yeah, so that was pretty cool. And as part of an incentive, you know, whenever we collected the Dragon Balls, we would give the person, you know, a Dragon Ball keychain. So like you brought back the 4-star ball, we would give you the 4-star keychain ball. I will try and find a picture really quick just to give some reference. But yeah, I thought that was just cool and nice and wonderful. We did eventually find all 7 Dragon Balls. And one of the cool things that really just floored me with this was, you know, every so often, because I was at ConOps most of the day, I recognized several people that came back up and, you know, asked, like, hey, how many Dragon Balls have you guys found? Like, how many are left? Like, any hints or tips on, like, where we can find them? Like, people were really engaged with this. And the whole point of it, you know, is it's a nice charitable thing. And again, like, guys, you know, you impressed me. And I really like that. And I thought it was cool. And I want to thank our attendees for being so engaged with it and so curious about it and asking us about it. And really quick, you know, like, even if, you know, we just found 6 of the Dragon Balls of the 7, you know, I think we were going to make the donation regardless. Because, I mean, like, you know, we were going to do, like, con cleanup anyway. And I'm sure, like, oh, you know, number 2 would have been found easily enough. So, we would have found all the Dragon Balls. We would have made a wish. Duh. But still, it's a cool idea to get your convention goers, you know, engaged. As well as, like, cosplay scavenger hunts. And other things, which I forgot to take note of. But, basically, several of the con staffers, you know, were given, like, little voucher things to give to, you know, unique, interesting, cool cosplays. Like, hey, hold on to this little ticket thing, come back to ConOps at, I think it was like 6 or 6:30, and basically we had a nice little ceremony of, like, hey, here are some cool, awesome cosplays that we saw. Here's, you know, a little gift card for all of your hard work and awesomeness, and it was a very nice thing. And very enjoyable, and I liked it. Let's see. And actually, going back to, you know, the con goers, really quick, I want to send a, you know, quick shout out to you guys. Thank you so much for being the awesome, wonderful people that you are. Not only asking about the Dragon Balls, but also, like I said, I worked with Lost and Found a lot this year. And we had a decent amount of things come into our area. You know, phone, purse, blah, blah, blah. And you have no idea, like, how relieved some of these people were when they found out, like, oh, hey, somebody turned in my phone, somebody turned in my wallet. And they came and they found it at ConOps. Like, it was good, and I'm glad that we had so many nice little happy endings to these stories of, oh no, I misplaced my blank. You know, unfortunately, at the end of the night, we did still have a few items. But, for those of you who may be seeing this, you know, who may have misplaced an item, we turned in the items to the campus police departments. You know, they'll hold the items. Hopefully we can figure out some way to get them back to you if possible. Or if you go up to Lakeland, you know, talk to the campus police department. They can help you out, hopefully. And in relation to running a lost and found, the system that we had going on was we would record the time that the item was brought to us, the place where it was left, like, oh hey, it's over in Y building, or it's just on the sidewalk outside of Conops, or something, as well as a quick description of the item. Like, oh, little cat plush ball, or blue cell phone with black cover, whatever. Like, that stuff helps in doing that. So just bear that in mind. Da-da-da. Let's see. Cool. And all right. And last thing that I have about Conops, I swear, we had a couple of guesses here. We had Amberly Connors, who's been at the convention for several years now, as well as Quentin Flynn. Now, if you do not recognize the name, you may know some of the characters that he has portrayed over the years. The two big ones for me personally are Axel from the Kingdom Hearts franchise, as well as Raiden from Metal Gear Solid, well, the Metal Gear Solid series, starting with 2 and some of the other games. And honestly, I have to say he's a very nice, very cool guy, and I love him to death. Like, he's like, he was so friendly and cool with all the people who came up to get autographs or just talk to him. Like, he was so friendly and warm, and it's just cool. And basically, he's running kind of like a normal autograph thing. He had a large array of different pictures on the table that he would sell, but he also had the deal of since he was at the convention, you can get a free signature and selfie with him. Basically, you just had to bring like your own item, like, oh hey, I've got Kingdom Hearts 2, or I've got Metal Gear Rising Revengeance, or something for him to sign, or even just your convention badge, which I'm not wearing currently. Whoops. I eventually, the line got short enough at one point where I was like, hey, can I take a quick break? I'm gonna hop in the line here, get something signed, get a selfie with him, which I'm probably gonna put that picture up just to show that I did actually get it, and so you guys can see who he is. And just honestly, it was pretty emotional for me. Mainly though because I picked up a poster that our faculty advisor, Dan, had brought to Conops and said, hey, please, if you can, get Quentin to sign this, and we're going to see if we can get Amber to sign it as well, because Dan is definitely one of the big players behind Nyancon. He's taken a step back, but he's still very important, very prevalent, and I wanted to do this for him, and just, I don't know, just the moment just really got to me, and it was just made me teary-eyed, but don't tell anybody that, just, I was a cool guy. I didn't cry at all when, he's like, hey, let's take a picture and I'll sign this thing for your buddy. And, really quick, just in relation to that, for the line of autographs for Mr. Flynn, another person had come up, in line. They told us a quick story about how they almost met Henry Winkler, the man who played Fonzie from Happy Days, as well as some other prevalent roles, but they got so nervous and scared they just couldn't do it. But thankfully today, with the help of their friends, they were able to meet Mr. Quentin Flynn, and it was a good time, and it was nice, and I can totally appreciate your story, my convention attending friend. It was an emotional moment. I met Ian Sinclair in the past, and that was awesome too. Like, it's a crazy thing to meet a famous person that you really have some attachment, engagement, connection with. Like, are they going to like my cosplay? Are they going to appreciate that I brought this game that either is common or a bit more obscure or something, and just it's something. Let's see, and then wrapping up the day, we just had a lot of cleanup stuff to do, and really quick, I want to give a shout out to our tech staff, our volunteers, and just everyone else who helped us out so much with cleaning up. Oh my gosh, like, if you've been to a convention before, or anywhere, you get the idea that if you have like 2,000 people, there's going to be a bit of a mess, afterward, because there's a lot of foot traffic. There are some people who may, forget, oh crap, I ate like, pizza and stuff like that, and I left my plate like over in the cafeteria area, or, there's a small spill or whatever, or glitter, or something to that effect, and just, we had we had good hustle from everyone involved, and it's just it just worked out well, and I want to give a shout out to you guys. So, like before, I'm going to give you all a nice, wonderful round of applause. Like, thank you so much. It helped out a lot. You don't even know. And, just a quick pro tip, having your volunteers and staff do their best to help clean up the area after convention says good things to the venue staff. It says, hey, we're nice, responsible adults. Like, you were kind and gracious enough to let us have our convention in your area. We are going to do our best to minimize the work and effort that your cleaning staff has to put into, make things look nice again, especially at a school setting. So just bear that in mind. Like, setup's one important thing to do at a convention, but also tear down, making sure that rooms aren't wrecked, there's not a whole lot of, mess and clutter for the regular staff to clean up afterwards. Just saying. And then finally, and this is again just a small personal thing, and I brought this up a little bit earlier, but one of the things that was unfortunate this year was we had some bad weather. Basically, it started to rain heavily at certain points throughout the day. I know later on, towards the end of the day, there was a cosplayer who was going to go out in their costume. It looked very nice. And I was just like, hold up a second. I've got an umbrella. I'll let you have it because you're obviously going to need it more than I am, because I was at ConOps. I was inside the building all day. This person was going to their car to leave or to get something or whatever. And, I was just like, here, I've got an umbrella. Just take it. I don't need it. And really quick, before you go, oh my god, Brad, you're such a good noodle. This was a Dollar Tree umbrella. Dollar Tree umbrellas do work. They're very, they're handy, but they're also only like $1. So it's not like, oh my gosh, like I gave somebody like my $200 wonderful umbrella that like has a little heating thing to it. If I did that, I'd be an idiot. But, I gave him my umbrella. And really quick, for reference, since Colossal Con, that is 3 umbrellas I've gone through this year. 1 broke at Colossal, 1 my mom took and misplaced somewhere, and the 3rd one I gave to a person because I decided to be a good noodle. Which leads me to a big thing, at conventions. Like I talked about before, we had a lot of good happy endings with the lost and found and stuff. And basically just, if you're at a convention, just look out for your fellow con attendees. Does this person seem to be sitting off by themselves, really sad and upset, or whatever, like, take a minute, maybe try and talk to them, engage them, make them find out if there's something that you can help them out with. Are they about to go out into a heavy rainstorm and you have an umbrella, that's cheap and you can just say, hey, whatever. Or, you can walk with them with your umbrella to their car, to their wherever. Just, if you're at a convention and you see something not quite right, say something. Say something to a con staff, like, hey, I'm concerned about blank, please, can you do something about this? Or, hey, there's a major spill over by, like, the vendors area, like, can you get somebody to clean that up? Information is key. If we know that there's an issue or if there's a concerning thing going on, we can try to address it. If we don't know about it, it's kind of a challenge. And also, it's nice if you notice, like, a person walking away from their purse, or they left their phone or something, at the cafeteria area, just be like, hey buddy, you forgot your wallet or your phone or your purse or your cute little cat plushie thing that your grandma made and you love so much. And just, that last thing, the grandma thing, didn't happen with me, but I'm just saying, like, they may be items, but some things do have a lot of sentimental value, and it would suck to lose them. So, if you see someone, leave something of theirs, let them know, please. Or if, you don't see the person, bring it to con ops, the lost and found area, and will handle it. And I think that is about it. Yeah. So that's all I really have to say with this. It's fun, it's hectic, it's crazy, it's stressful. I'm nervous every year before the convention starts, but it always seems to work out well. Thank you to our wonderful staff, our wonderful volunteers, our wonderful attendees who do such nice things and are so engaged and happy and great. Our guests, Lakeland Community College itself for allowing us to have the convention. There are so many wonderful people, I just can't take the time to name all of you off, but thank you so much for doing all that you do. Please keep doing the wonderful things, and, we will do our best to keep bringing wonderful pop culture, anime, video games, manga, comics, whatever you want to you as best we can. And, for the convention chairs, the con heads, whatever official title you guys have at this point, I will keep bringing my A game. I will keep trying to do my best, and I will keep trying to, make suggestions, bring ideas to help hopefully improve things for you guys. If you see, if you want me to do a little bit more, feel free to ask. I will do what I can. And, I know, I don't know all of the stuff that you do, but I know it's quite a bit to do to get a convention off the ground. And, if you need help, let me know. I'm clever-ish. I'm creative, certainly. And, maybe I can help bring something to the table. Maybe I can take a bit of work off your shoulders by, doing something. I don't know. I'm just throwing the thought out there. So hopefully, you guys do something with that. And finally, with all of that said, everyone, really quick, if you have more questions about Nyancon itself, check out the links for, check out the description for links to different information like Nyancon's Facebook page, the website, etc. Hopefully you can learn more about it. If you want to volunteer as well, there should be, I would assume there's some information somewhere on there about that. And that is finally everything. So I'm Valiant Bradley James, and I hope you appreciated that bit of conventional wisdom that I brought to you. Have fun, stay safe, keep hydrated, and of course, I'll catch you next time. Peace.